Hi traders, welcome back to the video. So in this very video, I'm going to try trading a $100 trading account, right? I'm going to trade the $100 for 1 week, show you all the trade recaps, how I took the trade, how much I risk, how I calculated my risk, and how much I finally ended with the $100. If I eventually lost the account or I'm still having the account or I made any profit on the account. So I'm not going to waste time. Let's jump right to the video. And also before the end of the video, I'm also going to announce another challenge. And this challenge now will be official, will be public on this very YouTube, where I'll be trading another small account. So let me not waste time. Let me jump right into the video. So all the trade I took this very week were sent to this very geek junk. So let me show you all the trade I took and how I took them, if it played out well, and how the account finally is now. So the week started, I guess, on the 28th, right? That was when Monday started. So the 1st of August, I sent it, I guess, yesterday. So I'll be able to do this very video. So the very first trade I took was this very trade on gold, this very sale on gold. Now, this is strategy I use, and I believe you all know my strategy, right? Now, structure, liquidity, POI, that is strategy I use. And this was a trade I took on gold. If you watch, gold is bearish, so I was expecting more sales. It's going down, so I was looking out for sell on gold. Now, this was the first trade I took, having this low as a break to the downside, which is a break of structure. Then this was the first time the price is pulling back up, which is the first pullback, which can act as a liquidity protecting my order block. So I use this long wick as my order block. Then I took the sell. Target 1 is 05. So this was the first trade, and this very trade hit full take profit. Now this very trade was not dropped on the free Telegram. We also have a free Telegram. You can click on the link to join. In the description is 100% free. I drop signals there as well. Now this very first trade was not dropped in the free Telegram. It was dropped as a correction for one of my students. Right? Let me see if I'm going to see the message. And one of my students also took that very trade. Right? He was thanking me for the very trade. Right? It was dropped as a correction for one of my students. He was asking me for the bias and my expectation on gold. So I gave it to him and he took the trade. And let me show you. Right? Take a look at this, and this was what he said. Right? Thanks, I recovered half of my previous loss today on my forwardedness. So it was on gold. So it was on Monday. That was when I dropped the setup. It was like a correction for one of them. Right? So that very trade gave us about $50 profit. Now on this very account, I was risking. It was $100 account, right? And I was risking about 10% of the account. So I was a little bit aggressive. I was risking 10% of the account. Not that aggressive, but also very aggressive. Right? I mean, after 10 stop loss, that account is gone. So the very first trade gave me take profit, giving me about $50 profit, and the account was now about $150. So this was the very first trade I took. Then this was another trade on GBP JPY. I dropped this very chart setup in the general Telegram, but this very chart I later said we should cancel because it missed entry initially. Right, initially the trade already missed entry, but after some days it came back to entry and then hit full take profit. But I already cancelled my limit order. I didn't take the trade again. I didn't check the chart again to take it. Right. So this was the first initial move. On coming here, I already said it's missed entry, so we canceled the limit order. It went down, but finally it came back to our entry and hit full take profit. So this was not part of the trade I took, but this very setup was dropped on the free Telegram, but I later said cancel. Now, this was another trade I took on GBP JPY. On this very trade, I was expecting a sell, but before I took a sell, I was waiting for confirmation, which is a change of character, right? And this very trade did not go well that very day. This was it right here. On getting to the very level, which was the same strategy I trade, higher time frame key level, mark at that level, possible reversal zone. Then on getting there, I want to see the price reverse. Now, getting there, the price gave a change of character, so I was looking out for sell. So that was how I took this very sell, right? Targeting this very low as my take profit. Everything was complete. Break control to the downside, using this as my liquidity. So I was anticipating for this very sell, but it came from the profit. This was a re-entry I had. This signal was dropped in the free Telegram as well, right? It was dropped in the free Telegram as well, and so many members there took it, right? But the trade did not go well. It later came back to our break even. Now, it came, ran in profit over 1:3, but I didn't take my profit on the account, right? Almost 1:4, but I didn't take profit. I already told everyone to break even, so I also had my break even. This was a re-entry we had, right? This was a re-entry we were trying to take, right? But this re-entry, I already told them to cancel. Initially, it missed entry. Let me show you on the Telegram. Let's not be as if I didn't say it, I didn't do it. So on the free Telegram, this re-entry I already said cancel, right? Because it missed entry. Take a look at it. Take a look at the signal setup I dropped for the gold for USD JPY, and it later went and then gave us over 1:3 before reversing. So we already had our break even. So take a look at it where I said break even. Then this was another signal. This was a re-entry. I now said on USD JPY. This re-entry later hit stop loss. I said missed entry, meaning you cancel, meaning you've missed that very trade. And this was when I entered in the re-entry limit order, but the re-entry missed. So we canceled the re-entry. But me personally, I did cancel on this very challenge account. So that was something I did wrong that made me miss out on money and that made me lose money. Right? I didn't cancel on this challenge account, so I keep on holding. So the trade came back to stop loss. This very re-entry came back to stop loss, and this other main entry came back to break even. So that left our account at $140 because on that very re-entry I lost $10. Now, many of you are gonna ask, "Hey, bro, how do you know you're actually risking $10 on a trade? Right? Once you take this trade, how do you know I'm risking $10 if I use this lot size?" Now, this is how you know. Once you take the trade, there are two things you want to always make sure you know. First thing is gonna be There are things you want to always make sure you know once you take that very trade. First thing is gonna be how many pips, SL, meaning how many pips are you risking on that very trade? Is it 20 pips? Is it 30 pips? Is it 100 pips? You want to know. Once you know that, you will now know the lot size that is suitable for your risk. If I plan on risking 10% now, which is $10, I won't be using one lot size unless I'm using a very maybe one pip stop loss. And how is that? Because with every lot size you use, there is a certain amount in dollar you're gonna make or lose. With 0.01 lot size is equal to about $0.1. That's about 10 cents per pip. Meaning for every single one pip that move, it's gonna be equal to 1 cent. That's $0.1. And the other lot size, 0.1 lot size, this one is equal to about $1. Then the other one, which is the one lot size, the standard lot, is equal to about $10 per pip. Then the other one, which is the 10 lot size is equal to about $100 per pip. Just like that. If you notice now, if I'm risking, even if I'm risking 5 pips, I can't be using one lot size, even if I'm using 5 pips, because one lot size is gonna make me risk $10, which is $10 per pip times the 5 pips. That's gonna be about $50 risk. Meaning I'm already risking half of that my account if I use one lot size. So even if I'm risking 5 pips, I'm not meant to use one lot size. So once you know this, how many pips is a stop loss, then which lot size is gonna be suitable for that very risk, you can now calculate and then know how much you will lose and how to risk the exact percent you plan on risking. Now, if you watch, this very trade was about 20 pips stop loss, 20 pips stop loss, but on cross pair USDJPY, GPNZD, GPJPY, those crossed pair, I believe you know what cross pair is. Their dollar value are not always up to this amount, right? They don't always amount to 10 cents per pip with 0.01, maybe around 0.0097, right? Just around that region, but it's not always up to this certain amount in dollar. But it's not a big deal. There's no big difference. You can still use it to calculate it and then make sure you're not risking more. Then on another currency, gold, BTC, they are just standard the same way like this. 0.01 lot size about 10 cents per pip, right? Just like that. Now, this trade I'm risking about 20 pips, right? If I'm risking 20 pips now and I go over use the lowest lot size, 0.01, which is about 0.1 lot size, which is 0.1 dollar per pip, is going to be equal to about 2 points, about $2 risk. So if I use this lowest lot size, it's going to be about $2 risk, because it's not going to be the 0.1 dollar, which is the 10 cent times the 20 pips, and that's going to be about $2 risk. So on this very trade, if I use this lot size now, I'm risking $2, but my plan is to risk $10. So if I use this other one, which is about 0.1 lot size, this one is equal to about $1 per pip. If I use this automatically, I'm going to be risking $1 times 20 pips, which is about $20. So on this very trade now, I'm gonna be risking $20 if I use 0.1 lot size. So what do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna reduce it to maybe half of that, 0.05 lot size. And if I use that automatically, I won't lose more than $10 on this very trade, which is what I plan on risking on a single trade. Where I won't lose more than $10 on a single trade. Just like that, you are now able to calculate how much you are risking on that very trade. Right? Now, this was another trade I took on BTC. This trade was a personal trade. This was a setup right here, and this was the play out. It was playing out, giving me over 1:2. This was a trade on BTC. The same structure, liquidity, POI, the same strategy I trade, and the same strategy you all know, and I teach on this very YouTube channel. Let me show you. Right, BTC broke this high as a break of short to the upside. You can see that. So I was not expecting buys. So I was taking it was still bullish. So what happened? I took my order block from here, right? I took this from a 30 minutes time frame order block right here. You can see this. Then using this low as a liquidity, I took my buy. So what happened? It came, activated the trade, went into profit, giving me over 1:3. Give money to 3, but I didn't take profit. I just had my break even. Then I had this re-entry. As it was moving, I had a re-entry. Right? I believe you know what re-entry means. And the same strategy, I don't just jump on re-entry. It has this breaker. Using this low as liquidity, it came back. I took my buy from the breaker. If you notice, it's also run to 1:2, 1:2 risk to reward ratio. So I'm already making $20 profit on this re-entry before it finally reverse. So I didn't break even on this re-entry. So the trade ran and hit my stop loss. And the first entry came back to break even. Right? Came back to break even on the first entry, and the second entry hit my stop loss. So the account was now down to $130. This very trade was a personal trade, this boat. I didn't send out the signal for anyone. It was just a personal trade I took myself. So now, after that trade, I waited, and it was the next day I took this very Euro USD. This Euro USD was also a personal trade as well. Let me show you how I took it and everything. Same thing, same strategy. Euro USD was bearish and has been bearish, so I'm gonna be looking out for sales. Everything that's gonna make me see, I'm gonna look out for it and then take it. So what happened? I was trading from a 5 minutes time frame order block right here. There was a 5 minutes time frame order block right here. I was taking my sale from there. It was during Asia section at midnight, so I was not gonna bother anyone with the signal or with the setup. So I didn't drop the signal, I didn't drop the setup. So this was the entry. Using this as my liquidity, you can see that right there. Using this as my liquidity, I tried taking the sale from here. But what happened? It missed with a very tiny pips. You can see this. You can see the missed entry with a very tiny pip and did not activate on my MT5. And I also dropped the message for. I also dropped the message right here. Let me show you. Where I showed them the missed entry, how I missed that very trade with a very tiny pips. It was so painful. You can see this. Sell limit order was placed. You can see the little missed entry that happened. So it was so painful, missing over 1:10 risk to reward ratio. So this was the setup right here. This was when I had the setup. You can see the setup, 5 minutes time frame order block. You can see the setup, and this was the play out. Hitting full TP and still missing my entry. So the account was still now at $130. I didn't lose any money on that very trade. I didn't make any money. So this was the BTC I took, and that made me lose, and the other one break even, which now left the account at $130. This was USD JPY signal. That's the other one that later, the range that later went against us, right? Which led the account to $140. I already talked about that, which is this very one, the USD JPY I talked about. Then the account was now at $30 as of, I guess, as of Wednesday. As of Wednesday, it was now at $130, right? So now, I guess on Thursday, that was when we had this very BTC setup, and this analysis was done live, right? It was general live. I did it with everyone on this very YouTube channel. You can go watch the live I did. This was when we did this analysis, right? And this was the analysis, and this was the playout. This trade hit full TP, giving us 1:5 risk to reward ratio, right? That I was targeting somewhere here. So take a look at this. I was using this long wick as my order block, using this high as my liquidity. Then I took my sell. It hit full TP 1:6 risk to reward ratio, but I took my profit as 1:5. At 1:5, that was when I was telling all the Telegram members to take profit. And this was the setup on the Telegram and the signal that I sent out. So this was it. So this was it right here. It was a general live analysis I did with everyone. So this was the setup, and the signal, the setup was dropped in the Telegram, and the TT full TP. You can see I said break even on BTC. On break even, it didn't come back to take us out, right? It's when ran in full TP, and I said take your profit now 1:5 risk to reward ratio. That was when I took my profit. So the account was now back to about $180. So as of Wednesday, the account was now at $180. But that was not the only trade we took that very day. I guess we took another trade on gold that very day. Okay. All right. So this was the buy we're trying to take on gold from this very zone. But this very trade now, I was waiting for confirmation, so I didn't take it. I was waiting for a change of character before taking this very trade. So I didn't just jump in. It was a buy from this very order block. You can see the order block. So I was waiting for a change of character before I take the trade. And I also dropped the message saying, let's wait for a choke. Right? You can see the things I drew for a change of character so we can take our buy. Now, this was another US 30 trade. This trade I took on US 30, same strategy. Let me show you. This very trade, I didn't take it on the challenge account. I only took it on my personal trading account, my main account. Right? Now, this was a setup. It's US 30 is bearish, so I was looking out for sales. So I was not looking out for buyers, I was just looking out for opportunity to sell. And I had this order block, which is this last black candle. It's an order block to sell from. Using this very high as my liquidity, I took the sell. Right? If you notice, there was this reaction, there was news that very day. So I didn't take it on the $100 account. There was news that very day, and the reaction was just crazy. So I still held on the main account, and it hit full TP over 1:4, or almost 1:5 risk to reward ratio on this very trade. This was the setup right here, and hitting full TP. This was the playout. I didn't take it on the challenge account, so we didn't. It was not a trade I took right there. Now this was another trade I took on gold. And this setup was also dropped on the Telegram. It was a setup analysis I also done. I also did live with everyone on the Telegram. Right, it was also a live analysis we did, and this setup now also hit stop loss. This was on gold, and this was the setup right here. On this very setup, I did something wrong, and I'm gonna admit it. I did something wrong on this very trade. Now I had this long wick as an order block for me. This is where I take the trade from. That's a break to the downside, but it didn't have any liquidity protecting it. So this was something I did wrong, and that made me lose this very trade. Right. So once I lose any trade, I do go over check what I did wrong that made me lose that very trade. So that was exactly what I saw I did wrong. So it didn't give any change of character. So it didn't give any liquidity. Sorry. So that was the reason this trade did not play out. It came, took me out. After taking me out, it started dropping, right? So I lost this very trade, and on this very trade, I was risking the same $10. I don't increase my risk, right? I do risk the same $10, but not specific $10, right? Sometimes it's gonna be 9 point something, sometimes it's gonna be 10 point something, it's gonna be 11, right? But average, nothing more than that, $10 region, right? So the account was now at $170. Then there was another personal trade I took. Let me see if it's here. Right then, this was a BTC we took that hit full TP 1:5 that made the account at $1,880. Right. So there was another trade I took personally myself. Right. There was another trade I took personally myself. Let me see if I'm gonna find it or if I deleted the setup. I guess it was also on gold. Right. Gold is always what makes me lose money most times. Right. I guess it was also on gold. Let me see if I'm gonna find it. I guess I was taking it from somewhere here, but I can't really remember. I didn't save up the chart, and I was taking it from a 5 minutes time frame order blocks around here. It was a personal trade. I didn't drop the setup. I didn't drop the signal for anyone. This was a sale I was trying to take somewhere here. Right? It was a 5 minute. Let me show you. So it has all the confirmation I need, but that trade just went against me and then hit my stop loss. But it already gave me opportunity to break even, but I didn't break even on the account, right? So you can see this right here. This was a 5 minute time frame order block. Using this high as my liquidity, I took my sell. But my general target was this very low. I was not active that very day to break even on this very trade. So on taking out this liquidity, tap on my entry, activated, and then went down, hitting over 1:4. 1:4, but I was not active. I guess I was asleep, right? So it just came back to stop loss, right? It was not up to 1:4, about 1:3, right? But I was not active. I would have set my break even. So it just came back, hit my stop loss. So it left the account at $160. That was a personal trade. I didn't drop the signal. I didn't drop it for anyone. It was just myself, right? Then I took this other trade on Euro USD, right? This was analysis. We also did live analysis. We also did live. I also did with everyone live, right? So this was the setup right here, and this very trade also hits stop loss, right? This very trade also hits stop loss on the Euro USD. This was the setup right here, and it was done live as an analysis. You can check the YouTube live I did. It was also done, and this very trade has all the confirmation, break of short to the downside, high, which is a liquidity protecting this order block. So I was trying to sell. It just came. There was a news that very day. Just came, took out, breakout, and then hit our stop loss. So I lost this very trade, which now left the account at about 100. So if you notice, it was the account was now at $150. If you notice, the losses I'm taking is always things I can easily avoid, right? This Euro USD, right? I can't avoid this, which I'm gonna admit, but the BTC and the gold that later went against me, I would have avoided it, but I was asleep. I didn't set my break even. I just left the trade and then went to bed, right? So those are mistakes I feel I did that made the account not as big as it was, right? As it's gonna be, as it's meant to be. So then this was another trade. I guess this was the last trade we took on the week, right? This was a USD JPY trade right here, and this was the setup. This was the trade right here. It ended. We ended the week with this very trade, hitting on full TP 1:5. So this was a setup right here. I dropped for them as well. For I dropped for them to take it as well. Right, we did the analysis live on this very YouTube channel. You can check out the live we did. So this was a sell setup, sell USD JPY, and this trade hits full TP 1:5. So this was the final trade I took on this very account, and the account was now at about $200. So I ended the account with about $200 this very week. Right, not fully $200, but about $199.7, $199.7. So that was the final trade we took, and this was the account now. I started off this account with my students. I only started it and did it with my students. Right? I didn't do it on the Telegram. Nobody knew on the Telegram I was doing this type of thing. I only did it with my students. But now I'm gonna do it live. I'm gonna do another one live. This was the account right here. You can see the same account login ID, $100, $100, $104.7. That was the deposit I made right there, and the account was now at $199.79, roughly $200. Right, this was the USD JPY that we took. It made over $50, like 1:5, over 50, almost $50 profit. You can see that, but we lost Euro USD that very day. Then I'm gonna start up another challenge now. So these are the trades I took, right? These are how I took them. So if you notice, I was constantly risking a certain amount, and this made me not to lose the account. I didn't blow this account. I didn't have a crazy drawdown on this account. Still, even if it's not large, I still make profit. I still made reasonable profit on this account, almost double of the account, which is pretty cool, and it's something everyone should repeat. And if you follow what I'm just giving you, what I've just showed you, you're gonna see I've just taught you in this very video that I do follow a certain risk. I don't know how to calculate my risk.
if I don't take a trade without knowing how much I'm risking on that very trade. Now you want to make sure you stick to that. Make sure you know how much you're risking on a trade before you jump on a trade. Then if you want to notice what I do, all the trade I took, I don't just go and jump on some random trade. I do watch out for all my confirmation, order block, breaker block, or if I'm taking it from an order block or I'm taking it from a breaker block, I'm going to need my break of structure. The liquidity needs to be present. And if you watch all the setup I take, they all had that same confluency because that's my strategy. That's something I can repeat over and over again. Right? Now, if you watch, it's just a system I keep repeating and the system is working and it's something I've been doing on my main account. On my main account this week, I made roughly over $2,000, right? Little over $2,000 on my main account this very week. So this was one of the trade. I don't always share my main account. I don't always show it live. It was the trade, right? On USDJPY that made $716 on the main account. But on the challenge account, I guess about $50 there about, which was this one right here, right? So that was how I traded this very account. This week, officially, I'm gonna announce this. This is the month of August, and I'm gonna be funding another $100 account. Right, this account will be traded live with everyone, and with if I see how free I am, right, I'll be doing live trading every single London section with everyone on the Telegram. So the Telegram link will be in the description. You can click on the link to join. So I'll be doing live trading, free live trading with everyone on the Telegram, and it's gonna be every London section. Once I'm fully active, and I'm always active during that London section, so I'm gonna be doing it. So meaning all the trade I'll be taking on this very account, I'll be dropping it as a signal for everyone. So you can easily set up your account for this same challenge as well. So I'm gonna do it live, fund this account this very month, record all of the trade. It's gonna be, if you notice, I have my notes right here. I have my notes right here where I record everything I'm doing. Right, record trades I take. Right, record trades I take, record my rules, record what I need to take the trade. Right. So if I don't just jump on trades, all my confirmation need to be complete before I jump on a trade. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. Trading with the strategy I've been teaching on this very YouTube channel. I'm gonna follow my plan, create a plan on for the account and follow it, and then trade that account for this month. Let's see by the end of the month. In a week, I've been able to double this account. Let's see in a month what we are able to do. Right? At least a month, the account will be at $300, $400, right? And even if possible, $1,000, depending on how we traded the account. So, if this video was helpful, let me know what you think, all right? And also, I'll see you guys in the next video. So, take care, guys. And also, stay tuned for this very challenge. Stay tuned, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Let's see if I'm going to eventually blow this account, right? Or I'm going to make money on this very account. I've done this 2 times. Right? I've done this challenge 2 times. The first one was on Telegram with everyone, and I lost that very account. But this was the second one I did now with only my students, and I doubled the account in a week. But let's see in a month. Let's see what we're able to do on that similar account. So guys, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.